Hi folks. Welcome back to Top Stocks the Week Ahead video. We had a little bit of pullback in the market for the week. I made this video on how to use supply and demand. Also same as support and resistance. You should watch this to understand how to use my support and resistance levels. Also when a stock has strong demand it will push over the first few resistance levels, and those levels will become support. Let's look at how some of these top stocks, how they did last week, and supply and demand zones for the upcoming week. This is Tesla's chart from the last week. Tesla's stock closed the week at $208.31. The high of the week was $217.65. The low of the week was $187.61. For the coming week, the first resistance is at $213, second resistance is at $217. The weekly resistance is at $226. Support or demand for Tesla stock would first at $201. The next area of support will be $193, and weekly support will be at $188. This is Apple's chart from the last week. Apple stock closed the week at $152.55. The high of the week was $156.33. The low of the week was $150.85. For the coming week, the first resistance is at $155, second resistance is at $158. The weekly resistance is at $162. Support or demand for Apple stock, first at $149. The next area of support will be $143, and weekly support will be at $139. This is Amazon's chart from the last week. Amazon stock closed the week at $97.20. The high of the week was $101.17. The low of the week was $95.65. For the coming week, the first resistance is at $103, second resistance is at $107. The weekly resistance is at $113. Support or demand for Amazon stock, first at $96. The next area of support will be $93, and weekly support will be at $90. This is Google's chart from the last week. Google stock closed the week at $94.59. The high of the week was $101.17. The low of the week was $95.65. For the coming week, the first resistance is at $98, second resistance is at $103. The weekly resistance is at $109. Support or demand for Google stock, first at $93. The next area of support will be $91, and weekly support will be at $89. Pretty much unchanged from last week as Google stock is range bound. This is Microsoft's chart from the last week. Microsoft stock closed the week at $258. The high of the week was $274.97. The low of the week was $256. For the coming week, the first resistance is at $263, second resistance is at $268. The weekly resistance is at $273. Support or demand for Microsoft stock, first at $257. The next area of support will be $253, and weekly support will be at $251. Also make sure to watch my other videos from this week. I also posted how to use RSI, and RSI trading strategies that you can use. Also stochastic and 3 best trading strategies to use stochastic indicator. This is NVIDIA's chart from the last week. NVIDIA stock closed the week at $213. The high of the week was 230.49. The low of the week was 209.62. For the coming week, the first resistance is at $218, second resistance is at $226. The weekly resistance is at $232. Support or demand for NVIDIA stock, first at $206. The next area of support will be $201, and weekly support will be at $196. Pretty much unchanged from last week. This is Netflix's chart from the last week. Netflix stock closed the week at $347.96. The high of the week was $363.75. The low of the week was $342.44. For the coming week, the first resistance is at $353, second resistance is at $357. The weekly resistance is at $364. Support or demand for Netflix stock, first at $343. The next area of support will be $338, and weekly support will be at $331. This is Meta's chart from the last week. Meta stock closed the week at $172.88. The high of the week was $181.50. The low of the week was $169.7. For the coming week, the first resistance is at $175, second resistance is at $177. The weekly resistance is at $180. Support or demand for Meta stock, first at $168. The next area of support will be $164, and weekly support will be at $161. That's all in this video. Do let me know how do you plan to use these supply and demand zones. Please drop a like, or share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.